Are we getting a new Earth goddess? Is she being replaced? Is she leaving entirely? These are questions that have been circulating more and more lately. There's been a quiet but growing undercurrent in the spiritual community through different channels, different psychics, all sharing the idea that Gaia is leaving, changing, getting switched out. And today I want to share my personal experiences and what came through for me. So last year, well, around October of 2024 and January 2025, I couldn't tune into the goddess of the earth. And she has been one of my go-to guides and healing allies for many years. And then one day it just sort of went radio silent. And that was a little unsettling for me. I felt like one of my main connections just got cut off. Now I realize that sometimes our guides do that. They they kind of go radio silent for a while, and that's okay. But this felt much different. This was, it felt like I couldn't find her. And when my guides in the past have gone quiet on me, they will still make their essence and energy known. In this instance, I went searching for Gaia's energy, her consciousness, and I couldn't find it. And I just had to trust the process there. I consulted my guides. They said it's all good and to come back later. In a month or so, they gave me a big breath of time to be patient and wait. And when I connected in after that interesting month, I connected in with Gaia. And I noticed that her frequency was completely different. The original version that I felt was very old and ancient, grandmotherly. And this version that I was connecting in with now was kind of young, sassy, spunky, and, and much more not high vibrational, but zesty, if you will. She just felt younger. So from a grandmotherly kind of energy to a more young adult, middle-aged person kind of spunk. I don't know how else to describe this, but there was a huge shift. Her tone changed, her frequency changed, her attitude changed, and my personal connection with her has been under development ever since then. I wanted to talk about this when it happened. I didn't really know how to, and I also did not really feel like the time was right. And recently, perusing the social media platforms, I noticed a few people messaging me about the potential of the Earth goddess getting switched out. I guess other channels and people sharing messages over the past several years have mentioned that Gaia is going to leave, get switched out. And many of these messages that I found were based out of fear or uncertainty. And so when I happened upon these transmissions, I thought, well, that doesn't make sense to me now, of course, experiencing what I had experienced. And so the other day, I tuned into Gaia and I was like, we should maybe address this. There's a lot of people out there that are concerned that you just abandoned us and maybe we can share your message. And so that's what I want to do here is share with you what she asked for me to share regarding an exchange or her leaving, and then dig into the core themes of the transmission a little bit deeper. So I'm going to be reading the transmission as it came through, and then we will break it down together. The goddess of the earth has been exchanged. Between October of 2024 and January of 2025, an exchange occurred. The original goddess left. She went back to source, closing the connection between the old world frequency and New World frequency. During that time, an exchange occurred, like a spirit swap, where one embodied spirit is exchanged with another. It's quite common in land healing. The exchange occurred quietly, kind of covertly, and generally kept quiet until the light grid locked in and new frequencies were given the okay to escape freely and release new frequencies across the globe. The okay was given. A big frequency shift just occurred with the ending of the cycle and the beginning again in the next phase of existence. The new golden era, the new earth, whatever you want to call it, it's a frequency exchange. Regardless, the new goddess, caretaker of the earth, is not new exactly, merely a fragment of the original goddess that lingered in higher consciousness specifically for this exchange. This aspect of Gaia is supercharged and excited to get to know you in a new kind of relationship. She holds the frequency of the golden era, infinite light codes ready to be given in exchange for this connection. And she says she is ready to kick some ass and bring in a new kind of existence, bringing magic back to the lands that lost their zest, to amplify the spaces already filled with magic, and bring in new kinds of connections that have waited eons and eons to make their existence known. Except we need to make it clear that these relationships are coming forward again from long lost pasts in a new kind of way. Examples: dragons are making themselves known right now. There's a lot of history and lore and speculation connected to these creatures. Except we want you to bridge this connection with a curious heart and forget the past. The relationships will begin again in ways we've never worked with them before, so keep an open mind. The same goes with the Bigfoot people, the elders of the land, and all in existence. Scrap the past. Begin again. We can't look back if we are to look forward and create a new world. The magic of the new world is coming, anchoring in as we speak. It'll take a handful of years, of course, to fully anchor in, but we've already begun the process. It's coming. It's inevitable. We've crossed the threshold, the teetering point. Now we must let the dust settle and the chaos to quiet. To be very clear, the old goddess is a fragment of the new goddess. She's resting now and recalibrating, and in direct communication with her new, more exciting and vibrant aspect. The exchange is complete, and she's asking all Earthworkers now to make this new and revitalized connection, because it's go time. Okay, so let's talk about this. I know that's a lot to take in, and depending on where you're at, it can either feel really expansive or kind of confusing. Either way, I want to touch on some of the core components of this transmission. The first thing I want to ground into this idea of an exchange. An exchange, it's not necessarily a replacement or that something was taken away. If you look at nature, everything works in cycles. Things don't just disappear, they transform, they evolve, they shift form. And that's what this feels like. Gaia isn't gone in the way our human minds might want to try to interpret that. This is more like a shift in expression, a different aspect stepping forward. And that brings me to the second piece, which is frequency. When we say frequency shift, We're talking about the underlying energy that everything operates on. And you may feel this already. Things in your life, for example, might be changing faster than you're used to. Relationships might be shifting. Old versions of yourself might not fit anymore. I can actually share a personal example on that one. Old versions of myself. Um, anyways, and more. That's what this looks like on a personal level. And I've been feeling it too, ever since I would say December of 2025 and February of 2026. Many things in my personal life have changed. Even the colors that I want to wear has dramatically shifted. If you've paid any attention to what I wear, it's usually black or green. And right now, I just feel called to wear really deep reds and a white, which is not anything I actually have in my closet. So little things like that might be shifting, or larger components in your life might also be shifting. I know a few people personally that they were fine, and then one day they were like, I need to move. I need to completely relocate my life and move across the country. And that's what they've been doing. So big things and little things definitely might be shifting in your world. All right. Now if we take that analogy and overlay that with the new consciousness or new goddess of the earth, which is still the an aspect of the original consciousness. It's not separate, it's not different, it's just expressed in a new way. Just like my physical body and my energy body wants to express itself now in different colors. uh, the goddess of the earth, as I mentioned before, is expressing herself to me personally with a sassier, younger, spunkier kind of energy. So, not separate, not different, just the expression is shifted. Now, this leads me into something really important. This isn't just about the earth changing. This is about our relationship with the changes of the earth. And with that comes the return of the connection to the unseen realms, which I'm really excited about. That includes the land, the spirits, the multidimensional beings that have always been here living right alongside us and have for a very, very long time gone unnoticed. And one of the core components of this transmission was to forget the past and to look forward. And that includes some of the history, the lore, and the stories that have been told about the beings within the unseen realms. Many, many stories paint a picture that connecting in with the spirits of the land is not wise, that they're dangerous, they're tricky. And I will have to say, I can only speak from personal experience. They just want to reconnect with humanity. Yes, their rules are a little bit different. And yes, they do have opinions and can get upset with us. The only time I've really seen the spirits of the land cause problems is when humans disrespected the space to begin with. And so when we come together in kinship and understanding and open the space up to develop a true relationship with them, I understand the message that they're trying to say of just leave the past behind, because if we're going into these connections assuming they're going to be tricksters or cause problems, we already put that energy in the field, and that you can't build trust when you're already suspicious, and they can feel that. So the message here is really clear. Letting go of the past is going to be really important, not because it's wrong, but because it's limiting. If we try to understand these connections through old stories, we're going to miss what's actually trying to come through now. This is the reset, a new beginning. And at the same time, right now we're sort of in that in-between phase. We've crossed the threshold, and yet things haven't fully settled. I know the world is really heavy right now, very chaotic. Many of you might be experiencing uncertainty. So just know that this is not the final form. This is the integration phase. And so if you've been feeling like you're in between versions of yourself or like something is shifting, but you can't quite name it, that's all part of this bigger picture and this exchange that has occurred, moving from the old world frequencies to the new world frequencies. Which brings me to what the new world frequencies might actually be. What is that? What does that look like? When I have tuned into what a new earth could look like, it is where we exist at the frequency of love first, where we are listening to the plants and the animals and all of the nature spirits to co-create together, to heal, to live alongside one another in relationship. I believe we'll get there. And I do see new medicine and magic stepping forward every single day. I think these new relationships that we have the opportunity to create with the beings of the land, seen and unseen, are going to really shift our reality. I don't even know. I see things in my mind's eye of working together with fairies and flowers and ecosystems and bringing harmony back into place. I see light codes being placed into people's knees to help them reduce inflammation, directed by the fairies. There's a lot coming if we are open to the potential possibilities. Okay, and finally, the last little bit here that I want to address is the idea of earth workers. And this isn't about being special or chosen at all. We can all connect in with the beings of the land if we put the effort in and want to. It's more about being aware. It's about those who are willing to engage with the earth, with the land, with energy in a conscious way. And feel, and if you feel a call right now to participate, to build a new kind of relationship with the earth, with the unseen, and with this new expression of consciousness. Because the shift, it's already happening. We're not waiting for it. We're already here. We're in it. And now now it's about learning how to move with it, to move with the frequency shifts, to learn what it is that we need to learn. And I don't know exactly what that is, of course, but I can feel that it's big, and it's much different than anything I've ever felt before. So I encourage you to stay curious. And if you have noticed when you are grounding or connecting in with the earth, if there has been a change or a frequency shift, hopefully this can shine a light onto your relationship moving forward.